Despite the pressures, Christians are spreading the gospel in the Muslim world, and churches are being established in places you wouldn't expect. Chris Mitchell has this story from Jericho.
For some of those baptized in the Jordan, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I mean, there's so many people around the world praying that want to come to Jerusalem and then be able to go to a place like this, the Jordan crossing, where people in a lifetime never get here, but God's allowed me to come, so I thank the Lord for that blessing.
Because the area is a closed military zone, it's seldom open during the year. What makes this place unique is its history.
This area marks the modern-day border between Israel and Jordan, and it also is the area where some of the most significant events in the Bible took place.
The site is where Joshua brought all of Israel across on dry ground. All of Israel stepped her foot here in this eastern gateway and doorway to the Promised Land. This is where Jesus Christ was baptized, heaven opened, the voice of the Father came and said, "This is my Son in whom I'm well pleased."
Karen Dunham organized the baptism service and worship celebration. The celebration marked an outgrowth of her ministry, one of a kind in the Middle East. A few years ago, Dunham established a church in the West Bank city of Jericho.
We have a church sometimes that reaches 600, and what you'll see is just Muslims lifting their hands to the Lord. And they're not there because I went house to house and invited any of them. They're there because they've had a dream or a vision or a visitation from the Spirit of the Lord. And so they've come to find out about Jesus.
Latifa is one of the people from Jericho who have had a dream about Jesus.
The dream when I sleeping, I see a man, his dress is white, and come to ask me, "What's your name?" I am afraid at first, but he told me, "Don't afraid, I am Jesus."
Others have experienced miracles.
Tuesday, I think there was either 2 or 3 that had deaf ears. One never spoke before. Tuesday was just full of miracles. A lot of the people are here were at our service Tuesday. They were hearing, they were talking, I mean, they were moving. I've just seen the Lord move. Even we think sometimes that, you know, they have to be fasting and they have to be Christians to get healed. I'm telling you today, God's healing the Muslims.
People need to know that it's not a bad report all the time. God does good things in spite of what the news shows. So people need to know that God is busy, He's at work, and He's good.
But establishing a church in Jericho was not easy for Dunham.
When I first went to Jericho, almost 4 years ago, they talked about me on every mosque. They wanted to execute me. They were giving us death threats by way of letters, me and my son, because we were handing out gospel tracts. Well, the governor of Jericho called me into his office. He said, "We had a meeting, and we feel if you want to give out Bibles and you want to give out those booklets, we don't consider it evangelism anymore. Go ahead, Karen."
Dunham now tapes a television program out of Jericho. She says the best language to speak in these areas is the language of love.
He says, "Give them the word. They'll hear you, Karen. The language is love. There's no reason why we can't reach out to those Arab nations. Reach out and show them with the arms of Jesus Christ how big and how great and how awesome God is."
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, the Jordan.